Well. If it isn't my YouTube channel. Saiyan MGTOW here with over 9,000 opinions. Welcome to the video. The discrimination of Western men. I want to start this video off by saying that after I have uploaded this video, I will be coming out with a video titled The Discrimination of Western Women. Of course, both sexes get versions of discrimination, and I won't presume to understand the complexity of non-Western cultures that I have little experience with, so I'm only talking about things in general in the West. People and places aren't identical copies of one another, so this is not an end-all be-all bucket of truth, but I think it's a pretty accurate generalization that will hopefully show people how men are discriminated against in today's society. Recently, one of my older sisters, I have two, was saying she thinks it's a problem if young men today think they are being discriminated against. Then she was like, how are you personally being discriminated against? It took me a second or two to come up with a few things, like that I would be kind of expected to pay for first official dates, and that I am expected to make the first moves when it comes to dating and potential relationships and hooking up. The ultimate culmination of this is, of course, when the man gets on one knee, essentially begging the woman to take him. Men are supposed to propose. Do you get it? After continuing talking with her, I finally said, if you don't think men are discriminated against at all, then we can stop talking about this. Then we stopped off at a gas station, and I went to the little boy's room. When I got back into the car, she was like, okay, you were right. Men are discriminated against somewhat in society, or something. And we continued talking about it. Then later I thought, I could definitely come up with some more examples, and the following is the result of that. Number 1, men are expected to pay for the first official date. Number 2, men are expected to open doors for women in a way that they aren't expected to do for men. Number 3, men are expected to walk across the room and make the first moves when it comes to potential relationships. She thinks it's our job to sweep her off her feet and to prove our worth to her by being funny and interesting and showing a blind infatuation for her, after we've played hard to get for a while, of course. And of course she'll want us to have a good job and possibly a house/apartment. Both men and women should demonstrate their value to each other. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel it's the man's job to make it happen and has much more pressure to not mess it up than women do. Number 4, going along with that, men are the ones who are supposed to know when she wants physical contact and then initiate that contact. She just gets to sit back and decide if she wants that contact. If she doesn't, or at a later time feels like it was a bad thing, us men might be subject to all kinds of repercussion if she goes public with that, like losing our jobs and reputation and respect and trust for the female sexual entity for those of us out there who still had any left. Number 5, if an unprotected, steamy lovemaking session ends with an unwanted pregnancy, men are blamed for it at higher than 50% responsibility. Number 6, Western men are much more likely to have unconsented genital surgery done on them than Western women are. Number 7, men have to register for the draft. Women don't. Number 8, in emergency situations, men are saved after the women and children. Nothing could be more telling of our second-class citizen status. This is 2018, not 18 BC. Please let me know when equality hits. Number 9, also men are expected to be the protectors of women and children. Is there anything we get in return for this? What a ripoff. Number 10, we are expected to do the dirty, nasty jobs, like cleaning gutters and finding the dead rat under the house. Number 11, we are expected to do the heavy lifting. At least we get a workout. Number 12, prevailing Western culture treats men like sexual monsters or animals who can't control themselves. I think women like to think this because it makes them feel important/desired. Both sexes have sexual urges, but only males are treated like sexual goblins. Women are treated like beautiful sexual angels or flowers. Yes, men might have more aggressive/strong sexual urges in general, but women aren't exactly indifferent to intercourse or above the primal nature of it. However, humanity is all about getting out of that primal nature to a reasonable degree, like no hitting or raping or pissing in the living room. I feel that the propaganda of the uncontrollable sexual male is a self-fulfilling prophecy that aids in women putting up with it and in men believing they can get away with it. I repeat, I feel that the propaganda of the uncontrollable sexual male is a self-fulfilling prophecy that aids in women putting up with it and in men believing that they can get away with it. Hashtag sexual assault needs to be reported immediately. Don't falsely normalize animal behavior, and don't put up with animal behavior. We're better than that. Number 13. In recent years, men have heard the ridiculous notion of toxic masculinity being portrayed as something for us to fight to overcome. While if I said toxic femininity is causing problems, I might get slapped. Number 14. Which reminds me, one time I was at a bar with my cousin and one of his friends who was a girl. She heard that I was a Sounders fan. I'm only kind of one. And slapped me very hard across the face. She was drunk, but after I took the first slap like a beast, she slapped me again with the same furiousness. She did this because she knew I wouldn't slap her back. She did this because of the female privilege to slap men as hard as possible without getting a return fist to the throat. If a man slapped me hard twice, best believe he would expect retaliation. He wouldn't get it because I'm a nice guy. But men are told not to hit women specifically, and women are aware of this. We should be told not to hit anybody. Number 15. Hashtag kill all men and hashtag bring back our girls. If you killed all men tomorrow, the entire world would collapse in days. If you killed all women tomorrow, not so much, except for nursing. Yes, there are women who work at power plants and water plants and as cops and fire people and repair people and plumbers and construction workers and engineers and in the military and transportation and food growing and hunting and fishing. But the vast, vast majority of those jobs are done by men. By men. Of course, I get that people who hashtagged kill all men don't actually want to kill all men. But joking like that is not really very chill. A good test to see if something is wrong with something is to switch up the positions and ponder if that changes something. If it does, then it's not really fair. In other words, if men started tweeting out, "This girl I'm dating gave me the stare down when I asked her if she was done shopping. Hashtag kill all women," it would be a problem. Of course, this version of the hashtag is unacceptable. And another thing, hashtag bring back our girls. Hundreds and hundreds of young boys were burned alive and killed in their sleep, and by other means by the terror group, which I won't name here, that later kidnapped the group of girls promoting the social media and media outcry to hashtag bring back our girls. The weird thing is, there was no hashtag stop killing our boys that was trending before that, I don't think. And article after article about how there were very few articles on the atrocities until the girls were taken. Does this send a message that to terror groups that if they want attention, harm women, and if they want to fly under the radar, don't harm women? Apparently, according to a Mediaite article I just read part of, referencing a BBC article I didn't read, sometime before hashtag bring back our girls, only boys were killed by the group, and the girls captured were released and told to flee, get married, and shun the Western education they had. Hashtag. Number 16. Men are given less empathy for body image issues, emotional issues, pain, and being single. Number 17. Men are told the world is ours. This probably damages us later in life when we realize the world is not ours. When we still have to work hard to succeed and to get women, and to get educated, and to get jobs, and to follow the law. Number 18, men are told to be a man when it comes to pain. Men are told we aren't being men if we don't make the first move. Okay, but if you are okay with those, then what do I get to say to you when it comes to being a woman? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Number 19, mansplaining and manspreading. I can't believe I have to say this, but rude women talk over and interrupt men all the time. Rude women take up more than one seat on the bus or subway when they don't need to, all the time. Surprise, men do this too. Number 20, men are often portrayed as second-class parents in TV shows and movies. The mom is the one who really knows what's going on, and the one to be feared. The dad is a bumbling idiot. Is this in every show? No. Moving on. Number 21. The practice of buying a woman a drink and the reality of ladies' night. Does gentleman's night exist? Number 22. MGTOW gets called gender differentiation by YouTube, while feminism does not. Allegedly. Number 23. Divorce courts and family courts are often unjust against men. Number 24. Men who suck at a sport can't join a women's sports team, but a woman who is great at a sport can join a men's sports team. Number 25. Girl power and women's rights are held with more respect and admiration than man power and man's rights, whatever that is. Number 26. Ladies first. Number 27. Men have to be more reserved and sensitive about sexual and non-sexual touching/engaging and language about sexual topics or anything to do with a woman, especially her appearance. If we get this wrong, the whole nation might find out about it, and you might lose your job if you are a person of power, and it is post #MeToo. I always thought #sexual assault needs to be reported immediately was in effect for my entire lifetime. But what do I know? I prefer #time's up, because from this point onward, please people, sign contracts before sexual contact. Remember, the discrimination against Western women video is coming soon. Until then, Saiyan MGTOW here with over 9,000 thank yous for watching the video. Bye!